G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd do a quick spring update, early spring update on some of my trees. This is a group of Trident Maples that I showed you how I repotted this tree or added a couple of trees in the back of in the back here. Now you can see starting to leaf out everywhere. Not too bad, looking pretty good. This tree's a bit earlier than the rest, and some is this tree. This tree's giving me a bit of an issue here. The top seems to start to die off. It's got a nice sub branch here, but it's getting a weak tree. It's starting to become a weak tree, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on it this season. If it comes good, it comes good. Otherwise, we've got to create a new top from this. But other than that, it's starting to leaf out nicely. It's very small leaves, very tiny, and looking good. And of course, an old favourite of mine, my little Chinese elm. It's doing quite nicely, all leafed out, very small leaves. Probably need to trim back soon, actually. I want to try and bring it back in a bit smaller, a bit closer. So it needs a bit of a trim to get it looking good. But there you go, little Chinese elm doing nice and well. Here's one of my favourite little mini Trident Maples. You can see my hand for size. Quite a small little tree, nicely leafing out. Quite nice leaves. These may be a little bit large for some reason. I might give it a little defoliation this year. See how it goes, but looks nice in this nice tiny little pot. Looking really healthy, nice, and want to get it even more compact and smaller leaves. So maybe a defoliation this year helps ramify the branches. We should have an even more compact tree. Here's a beautiful Japanese maple that's starting to just come out in leaf. Very, very nice how it's really leafing out well. This side's probably a little bit ahead of the rest, but this side seems to get more morning sun directly on it, and then the sun goes over to that side. For some reason, this side is getting a lot more, shooting out a bit earlier. It's almost ready for me to pinch out the nodes. I think I will have to soon. There's some bits here that I need to pinch out the middle node, and just to help it keep it in proportion and push back the growth in towards the tree rather than out. So if I want it to grow a big branch out here, I'll let that grow, but this now has to be pinched back, so it actually pushes back the growth and stops that from elongating. Hopefully gets more ramification. So yeah, it's almost ready for that. I've done videos on how to pinch out maples before, but I might do another one this year just to show everyone how to do that. But beautiful maple. I really love this tree. I'm starting to really enjoy this tree. It's really coming along nicely. Beautiful. Here's a lovely little prunus that I have. You would have seen in my previous video. Oops, there goes a few petals. Knocked it into the wall. But nice and full of flowers. It's pretty much at its peak right now with flowering. Looks really good. It's pretty much I only have it for its flowers, really. It's a nice little trunk as well, but the flowers are everything. So this year I'm going to put some bit of wire and get that tall one down, and get some of these ones around here just to make it more of a fuller canopy like a deciduous tree. Yeah, without the big space in the middle there. So yeah, but lovely little flowers this year. As I said, pretty much at its peak right now. Starting to slowly drop a few. Yeah, love it. This is a cedar elm that's featured on my channel before. Cedar elm, absolutely the tiniest little leaves are on this tree right now. I might have to bring it in close up just so you can try and see how small these leaves are. A bit blurry, but have a look at that. Tiniest little, there's my finger next to some of these leaves. Tiniest little leaves. So I'll just show you again, that's pretty impressive. There you go, look how small those leaves are. Yeah. So just put the camera back. Yeah, this tree's doing really well. It's leafing out. There's a few problem areas that doesn't seem like, it does have dieback occasionally, these cedar elms. But I'm just going to wait for it to come along a little bit more and see what's actually really died back. There's a few branches here that don't look too good. So we'll just have to look at it and work out what's happened. Yeah. And yeah, it's looking good though. It's starting to leaf out just water it away, keep it nice and get lots of sun on it, and yeah, it should be good. All right. And here's a beautiful Trident Maple that's pretty much full foliage. Pretty much everything's come out. It's just, observing a few things, a few areas. It does get occasional dieback. There's a few dieback branches in here. Actually, one of the branch in the apex has died off. Very small, but sometimes things happen. But pretty much all full leaf, just about. Which other tridents in my thing haven't even started to leaf out. So very interesting. So this must be an early one. I do remember this one always does go early for some reason, but it does. They're looking good. Full head of hair, I guess. Wish I had a full head of hair, but full head of hair ready on this tree. I want to really get this area filled out this year. I want to try and see how I encourage branches to really fill out, make a bit more of a fuller canopy tree. This area is starting to improve with different layers, but there's a big hole in here, I think, at the moment. So I want to try and encourage growth in this area. See what happens. Okay. And of course, I got to show you some of my Shimpacus now. This is the one that I repotted recently and changed the angle of the tree. I just think it looks sensational. I think that's almost the right viewing angle for you guys. It's beautiful. Like on a nice tall stand in a show, this will look really, really beautiful. This in the start, it's lost all its grey kind of bronzy foliage now, and it's starting to see I can see the new growth starting to hit the tips. So it looks healthy, looks strong, should be good this year. New pot, new angle, not new pot, but new angle, and the tree looks like a totally new tree. I really love it. It's absolutely spot on, I reckon now. Good pot, tree's looking good. Yeah, really enjoying that tree. And of course, one of my favorite Shimpacus in my collection, and I think a lot of you like this one too. One of the best movement in trunks that I've got. Nice foliage, nice healthy tree. I didn't repot this tree this year at all. I just left it. Doesn't need to be repotted. It's all good. So really, really liking this tree. And somewhere around there's the front. Yeah, it's pretty much where that leg is the front. So looking really nice. Really like that. Now I thought I'd show you these trees because if you're following me during in the last couple of months, I put together some Japanese maple young trees and grouped them together. This is a group of 3 trees, 1, 2, 3, and this is now what's happened. They're full, starting to grow out, starting to shoot out everywhere. But as you can see, I haven't actually touched the tree. I'm letting it grow, letting it get established. And if I start to chop now, it will start to bleed, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to let this harden off, all this foliage, and then cut them back. So I try to encourage a smaller canopy tree with the 3 trunks. So very, very, yeah, I did promise you guys if I'd show you an update to these trees. So that's one of them, nice little one there. Let me just check. Yeah, you guys can see that pretty clear. I'll just show you another one. Now this was a 5-tree group, coming along really well too. Just make sure it's in the shot. Yeah, it's not too bad. I might zoom out for this one a bit more. Again, same thing. They're just letting it grow, letting them get strong, healthy. So, it's, I can't remember where the front was, but it's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all shooting well. Just let it establish itself, let it grow, and then start to trim them back and start to shape the trees once they're a bit more established. So that's a good one too. And the last one was this 5-tree group again. So it's starting to, maybe not all of them are shot out. So this tall one still needs to be shoot out. But yeah, you can see that they got potentially a good future. Just by putting some together, putting them in the shape you want them, grouping them together, and hopefully they start to all fuse at the base this year. That's probably why I want to just let them go for a bit, get them to all really go strong, roots start to fuse, trunks start to fuse, and you really get a one group clump. So just thought I'd give you an update on that. I did promise you, if you've been following me for a while, to have a look at that. All right, this is an interesting one. If you've been following me for a while, you've also seen this on my channel before. It's Chinese quince, a Japonica japonica something, I can't remember. Japonica, so Chinese quince. Now it does have a few flowers here still. It did okay flowering, not a huge amount this year because I cut it back pretty hard. Now you can see all the nice new healthy growth shooting out everywhere, which is fantastic. I like the clump style. I like that it's starting to it's going to really fill out a nice big full canopy and look more like an evergreen kind of tree, more natural style of what the tree really grows like, that clumpy kind of style of tree. So I think it's going to be good. Would love to see full flower, but it's going really well at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'll finish up on this tree. It's one of my favourite Trident Maples. It's really nice size. It's just a perfect little size tree. You can see the tiny foliage, tiny new shoots coming out. It's pretty much almost all the same size coming out, except for some of this area, which is probably a little bit earlier came out. But they're all pretty much popped open at the same time, and they've got the most tiniest little leaves at the moment. I guess that's what happens when you start to really get a lot of branching and ramification on a tree. The whole tree needs energy, it needs a lot of it. So what it grows is much smaller leaves. So very happy with this tree, how it's going. Another beauty tree. Anyway, so I was hoping to show you my ginkgos, but they're still a little early. Their buds are just starting to burst, so there's no point showing you that. I might do a mid-spring walkthrough as well. I haven't shown you any pines because the pines look pretty much you pretty much seen them in my other recent videos about repotting them, so they really haven't done much more than that. But the ginkgos probably have to wait till spring, mid-spring, to show you those. But in the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. YouTube should change the way they notify you. They don't notify you via email anymore when I put new videos up. They notify you via your app if you've got it on your phone. But you need to have the little bell icon pressed to be able to get updates from me. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that video. See you next time.